All right, good. Yeah, my name is Volker Helzle. I run the Carl Laemmle Institute for Research and Media Innovation, and you probably have not heard of it because it's very new. It's been established weeks ago, and the idea of this presentation is to give you an insight into what it is we want to do and how it came to the establishing of the Carl Laemmle Institute. Carl Laemmle was born in Laupheim, which is in Baden-Württemberg, and he migrated into the United States 1884, quite some time ago. In 1912, he established the Universal Pictures Studios in Los Angeles and played a significant role in the rise of Hollywood as a film production location worldwide. We are in contact with his great grandniece, Rosemary Laemmle Hilb is her name. She thinks it's a great idea to use the name of Carl Laemmle for an institution that wants to engage in research. And she did let us know that one of the life mottos of Carl Laemmle was that it can be done. And it symbolized the deep belief in opportunities and the power of creative visions. Before we go into the Carl Laemmle Institute, let's take a look at Film Academy. Established in 1991, in 2002, Animationsinstitut was founded. Animationsinstitut is in charge of the education for the students in the areas of animation, visual effects, animation effects producing, technical directing, and interactive media. I joined Animationsinstitut in 2003 for a 2-year research project and thought that I would move on after that time, but I have to admit it was always very interesting here. And I also, from 2004 on, took over then the senior lecturing for technical directing up until about a year ago when Diana took over. And yeah, through these 20 years, we were able to establish this R&D department at Animationsinstitut and build a strong link into the industry, into animation, games, VFX, but also to people like Eric some time ago. And yes, our research is really applied research, practical projects need to be carried out in order to understand if developments are really useful in a media creation pipeline. And that all came to the idea, which was circulated late last year, to say that we offer all these services of research and innovation and knowledge, not just focused on the needs of animation and VFX and interactive media, but for all departments of Film Academy. And that is the idea of the Carl Laemmle Institute. And since this is a nice summary of institutions and years and things, let's not forget FMX, which is a European, I would say the most influential conference on animation, games, interactive media. A large part of it is now also AI, of course. And if you do not have it in your calendar, block it now, and there's no excuse not to be there. It's a great event. Now, we have a mission statement, and I would take the time to just break that to you. This is a short version. We also have a 2-page version. But the idea for the Carl Laemmle Institute at Film Academy Baden-Württemberg is a globally unique institution within a film school that bridges the gap between applied research, teaching, and technology transfer. Research. Through a strong global network, the CLI develops innovative tools and sustainable production strategies and evaluates them in real-life productions. Teaching, the CLI supports the relevant departments in integrating these cutting-edge technologies and methods into a future-proof curriculum, providing students with access to new prototypes, tools, software, and expert knowledge. And finally, technology and knowledge transfer through open source approaches, cross-innovation, and public outreach. The CLI promotes knowledge transfer and exchange within the creative industries and beyond. Now meet the team. You're about to meet me personally, but there's others that built the core team. Simon Spielmann is our principal R&D engineer, is currently recovering from a surgery, can't be here today. We have Jonas Trotner, who is an AI expert and AI engineer. Jonas, are you here? Raise your hand. He was here, okay. No, he's out, he might be over there. And we have Dr. Alexander Kreische, who supports research management. But based on projects that we acquire, the team grows, and I'm happy to say that we are a lot more now as of last week. We have Thomas Krüger, who used to work with us in the past as game engine and XR developer. Thomas, you're here? No? Okay. Dr. Sevinch Erogulu, sorry, the names are not fully in. XR research engineer. Paris Asairi from for science communication. We have Jason Schülein in XR research and pipeline TD. And starting next month, Katharina Muske, who is also a former interactive media student, will join us for UI, UX design, and development. So now I would like to share some thoughts and personal opinions about immersion in particular, but also I think it's important to maybe give a bit of a definition. We might should have used maybe that slide in the beginning. When we talk about extended reality, what do we mean by that? So XR, extended reality, is a catch-all phrase that summarizes different technologies: augmented reality, mixed reality, and virtual reality. This is a nice graph because it shows how different technologies are more situated either in the full virtual or in an in-between of the virtual and the real world. So VR is where you are fully immersed in a digital or virtual environment. In augmented reality, you can use see-through headsets, glasses, or just simply your phone to augment objects with digital elements. And in mixed reality, you can interact with real and virtual world objects. And for instance, working with an LED wall or working with the LED wall workshop with the ADK students is really something that is more situated in mixed reality. So there's a lot of different flavors in XR, and that's also why I think it's a very good term, because it can mean many things. Now, there has been a big hype on VR headsets through the last years. Many have seen technology iterations, but I think it's good to take a step back and do some research. Unfortunately, this website that this graph is from, or this screenshots are from, is no longer active. But it was a website that more or less tracked every headset that came to the market. And when I went there, it was obvious that we already saw a massive VR hype in the 90s. All of these headsets are from the 90s. But of course, what you have in your hands today in terms of VR technology is light years more advanced than what we had in the 90s. But let's take a journey much more further back when we think about immersion and immersing ourselves in environments. Have you ever heard of panoramic paintings of the 19th century? There was the Rotunda, built in 1800 by Robert Barker at the Leicester Square in London. It was a 17-meter high brickstone building. People could walk on different levels, and it exhibited 250 square meter panoramic paintings. And what I did find most amusing is that apparently it is reported that people that visited the Rotunda did suffer from disorientation and fatigue. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? Fatigue is usually the term that's been used when people have a discomfort in wearing a headset and lose orientation. And if you look at it, and also fragments of these panoramic paintings of ancient war scenes, but it was what was available at the time: paint, a pen, and the canvas. There was not much more technology-wise. But I think the concept to immerse an audience, an individual, in a certain situation is really more 200 or even more years old. And I think that's what we should keep in mind when we think about immersion, maybe immersive theater plays, also productions in a studio for a film can be very immersive. There was what Matthias showed, there was one production of a Mars landscape here in the studio, and when you stood at the right spot at the end of the studio, you could not distinguish where the real world ended and where the virtual world began. So fast forward 2026, we now have a lot more technology. You probably heard about the Sphere, a gigantic spherical event venue in the heart of Las Vegas where concerts are done, but also where specifically experiences are crafted for. I have not been, but I know people that create content for the Sphere. And they say when you are there, it feels like a VR experience because your entire vision is covered by this gigantic screen, but you don't have a headset. And of course, you sit with others, so you have a group experience. And the picture down on the lower side is from the ABBA Voyage concert. I was there, I think 9 months ago, and it's an immersive concert of ABBA, the best ABBA songs performed mostly by digital avatars. And I was very impressed, but I think the most impressive thing was that I was by far the youngest visitor, and 4 minutes into the show, everybody was dancing, even people that walked in sticks. And I think that also showed to me that, you know, a certain level of acceptance for that kind of content, because the immersion and the belief in this scenario to be accepted was really overwhelming. If you have a chance, if you're ever in London, don't miss it. I think it's really worth seeing it. Yeah, this is a slide that I don't want to go too much into detail, but it explains a little bit as to why we are so eager and interested in, for instance, bringing the LED wall to the set extension workshop, which I think was 5 years ago, to advance in virtual production, but also to work with Ilya and Ludger and ADK and the theater and dramaturgy students to explore how we can use these technologies, because there has been a very long and ongoing and very deep engagement in the idea of virtual production, especially around 11 and 12, 13. That's when the idea of virtual production was discussed. It was mostly esoteric, I would say. People smiled and said like, yeah, this would never happen. It's not possible algorithmically and so on. But some people believed, and it took a pandemic for the right push to make that happen. These are just pictures. We won't roll the videos, but at that time we were closely working with a game engine developer from Frankfurt, Crytek. These were different days. Back then, even as a school, everything was very serious with NDAs and agreements. So you didn't just get access because you wanted everybody to work with the technology. So it was really special to have that at Film Academy, and also to have a large mocap system that could track the camera. One of these questions came earlier about how you sync the camera perspective. So yeah, we encouraged students really to run these productions, and also Dark Matter, for instance, made it up to SIGGRAPH. And then things changed in our research group because we were able to be partner in our first EU-level project, which means a lot of administration. Things run very differently. And that project back then was also the starting point for a long and ongoing direct relation with Foundry, because Foundry initiated the project called Dreamspace. That's actually also where I met the notorious Eric Joris from Brussels. Yeah, Dreamspace allowed us to create our own virtual production editing tools, open source, available, used in many productions. We also got access to markerless camera tracking. It's this little bar you see down there, because Encam was a partner in Dreamspace. Encam was bought by Zeiss, I think 2-3 years ago. The product is now called Simcraft, but you know, we have it here till 2013, over 13 years now. Then Source was more about light field technology and early prototypes in AI, asset discovery and transformation, especially DNEG and Disney were deeply involved in that. And then last year we finished 2 projects, MaxR, also with a large consortium, 11 partners, mostly from creative industries. Nuke Stage was partly developed in MaxR. We were the first school on the planet to get access to that software. I don't know, maybe we still are. We were able to develop open source deep learning tools for character animation that can support a character animation workflow and keep creative control with the artists. Everything is open source. We also train on fair data sets. We build them ourselves and release them as well. And then you've heard it earlier, the project Emil. That was a special project because it, from the structure, it's not research and innovation, it was cascade funding. So we've received a lot of money and then did open calls and forwarded this money into the selected projects. A total budget of 5.6 million went into individual projects between 250 and 500,000 euros. In all sectors of XR. It was a lot of medical, therapeutical applications. Some of them have been tested and validated in clinical tests, but also technology for virtual production. Here you see CAD contents from Andreas Dahn, who's also here today. He was the director, but the technology was developed at Eindhoven Design Academy, and you can see 2 actors in different locations, one in Eindhoven, the other in Aalto. And Andreas could work with both with a very low latency in a data synchronization to overcome the obstacles of people not being able to share a physical presence. This is a picture from Movers, a project from Greek developers about markerless motion capturing with a very low technology footprint. So you need cameras that cost $800. You need 4 or 5 of them. So I think the hardware cost is like 2,500 euros, and then you can capture without any markers, and it captures really very good. And you can, if you're not happy with the result, or if you want to refine your hand movements, you can send that to the cloud, the European cloud, and refine it, and it's really very good if you want to quickly draft out something, but don't want to jump in the mocap suit and do all the calibration stuff. So that's to give you an overview of the background that we can use towards many things. A lot of connections and individual friendships were based in these projects. And it helps us to think about new things and to put together days like these as well. All right, just quickly, Fate of the Minotaur was our Lighthouse project. In this Emil project, it's set in Greek mythology. You descend into the labyrinth of the Minotaur and learn about the tragic story and confront him to get free. It's been designed to serve different technical constellations, a linear 180 non-interactive film. Then the second scale option is the single-player room-scaled seated. But the most interesting one is the free roaming 4x4, 8x8 meters and 4 players at the same time. And that's what you can experience in the ADK Tower in the afternoon. Andreas, the XR director, is also here. He can, I'm sure he'll answer questions. But to show you what it is, if you can't make it in the afternoon, we've been traveling quite in the last years with this experience, and here is a 2-minute trailer.
I, Minos, king of Crete, welcome you here at Knossos, where you will meet your destiny. I congratulate you on becoming the trick for the Minotaur, the creature with whose existence the gods dare to punish me and my beloved wife, Pacify.
My voice will guide you through these corridors.
I have have a little VR headset at home, and it's just so much different being able to walk, like, and just keep walking instead of reaching a boundary somewhere.
It really felt big.
Catch.
We were all in. My fear of heights got activated there, and that scared me first. And I was like, this is just a game. The sound is also pretty effective.
You're almost free!
You have made you look and really go around. Fully experience the VR. Oh wait, look at this guy over here. Who's this?
I was very scared that at some point the Minotaur will jump in.
Oh no! Oh god, not me, please not me.
What?
J'ai perdu l'épée, ça! Oh non, l'épée! I'm blind! That was sweet.
Yeah.
That was so great.
Oh, we made it. Yay! It was an awesome little plot, and I like that there are multiple endings.
I just thought it was a novel experience, even for people that do VR a lot.
It's kind of like just getting out of Disneyland.
Bye, see ya! Wouldn't want to be ya!
Okay, so I have two more slides for you about new projects that we've started just a few weeks ago. So the first one is the Industrial Metaverse Living Lab Reallabor. It's a consortium built by Film Academy, Carl Laemmle Institute, Fraunhofer, IAO, EPA, and Arena 2036. And the idea is to bring XR technologies to SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises, or Klein- und Mittelständische Unternehmen, KMUs. Companies from all industries can get in contact with the Living Lab to check their potential use of metaverse and XR applications and services. And they can ask for, or they can submit quick checks, and then we can pick exploring projects and also some selected demonstrators, which were then based on the exploring projects, to create use cases of how metaverse and XR potential can be exploited by the regional economy. As I said, the project just started a few weeks ago. The kickoff is next week, the official kickoff, and it is funded by the Baden-Württemberg Ministry of Economic Affairs, Labor and Tourism. Thank you for that. The second project is VISTA, Virtuelle Immersive Standort- und Architekturplattform, or in English, Virtual Immersive Location and Architecture Platform. I think that describes it best. The consortium is led by Recom Film, who is the coordinator of the project. Film Academy, Carl Laemmle Institute, and Lohmann Architekten are partners. And we also have a fourth partner who is associated. It doesn't receive any funding. It's the Film Commission Region Stuttgart. And the idea is to develop a platform for the automated production, administration, and use of photorealistic digital twins of real locations. Target domains are film, automotive, advertisement, both automotive advertisement, but also regular advertisement, VFX, location marketing, and of course, architecture. And the idea is for real environments to be efficiently transformed into high-quality interactive models. We heard about potential of Gaussian splatting and neural rendering in the morning. Of course, these topics are addressed in VISTA as well. And the project started a few weeks ago. The kickoff, I think, will be 21st. And again, thanks to the Ministry of Economic Affairs. That's it in a nutshell. You should know now what the Carl Laemmle Institute for Research and Innovation, Media Innovation is about, what our goals are. And if you have any ideas for wild and interesting projects, don't hesitate to contact me personally. I'm here all day. I will be at the experiences, but you can also just come to our room currently in Animationsinstitut, room A213, and happy to take questions should there be any. Thank you.